everyone, I'm Olga Villaverde.
And I'm Amber Mills. Welcome to The Balancing Act.
Well, today we're going to be talking about money and finances. So it's kind of like a sticky topic, and it really can unfortunately cause big problems within families.
It does. I mean, I do the finances in my family. Do you do
I
yours?
do too. My husband comes to me and I take care of it.
I do the same thing, and you know, we're really good about it. And no matter how strong your relationship is, when it comes to money matters, when it comes to credit, when it comes to life
insurance is a big one.
I mean, these are things that we need to be realistic about, and sometimes having that reality check isn't so easy.
So we're going to take a look at all of this and hopefully provide some solutions for you to make it a lot easier for you at home.
Yes, you and your partner. And a topic that's always important here for us in The Balancing Act is our Behind the Mystery series on rare and genetic disorders. We're on location in Washington, D.C. at the World Orphan Drug Congress. Now, you've been there before, right?
I've been there before. I've covered it. I'm really glad we're going to go back, and it really creates a lot of awareness that really needs to be done today.
Which is excellent. And that all starts
right now. As we all know, life happens, but can you provide for yourself and your family in case there's a major emergency, even a death in the family? Will you have enough money to pay your bills, stay in your home, and take care of everything you need to in order to stay on your feet? Joining me this morning is someone who deals with these issues every single day, helping people protect their financial futures. With me this morning is Jane Fortin from Allstate. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here, because I find this to be such an important topic. It's very sensitive. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, life insurance, but it needs to be addressed because you never know.
Absolutely. And, you know, the reality is, Olga, that there's just stories every day that come to mind. You know, we just had one recently where we had our agent was just haunted by this. We had a couple that came in. They were starting their new life together. It was a second marriage for both of them. And they came in on the house, and they were going to get some life coverage. They held off. And months later, the wife called in, shared with our agent that the husband had passed unexpectedly.
And she wanted to know.
She wanted to know, and she said, did we get that life insurance in place? And our agent was haunted by having to say, no, we never got to it. It resulted in her having to sell the house. She had to move in with her niece. I mean, there are stories like this all the time. Look at GoFundMe, right? How many of us come together to help friends and family that didn't take action and prepare for life's uncertainties.
And that's why we want to talk about it more this morning, because taking that action can create such peace of mind. I have some stats here that I'd like to share with my viewers. Truly alarming. 37 million American families do not have coverage. Wow, that's a lot.
It's stunning.
And then look at this one. 56% of women have coverage. 62% of men have coverage. Look at that gap.
We're lagging, and we need to address that, right? Because all of us have needs. And the answer here is everyone needs to take the time to really understand their situation. And if they need help with that, they should know that there's agents around the country, Allstate agents, 10,000 all over the country, that would be happy to help sit down with you and really understand this risk that you may face. We take the time every year to have our medical exam, do a financial wellness checkup, and make sure that you're addressing these risks that you may be facing.
So let me give you a few examples. You're the Allstate agent, and I'm going to give you a few examples of a single mom who, let's say, just got divorced, or a single mom who never got married, or let's just say a single dad, right? One income, or even someone like myself and my husband. Two incomes, times are tough. A lot of people are saying, I can't afford it, it's too much money. Talk to me about how much policies are and how affordable they can be. Because it's important for people to know this.
It is important, Olga, and there's I want to debunk an important myth, right? The reality is people overestimate the cost of insurance. It can be less than the cost of that cup of coffee that we stop and get every day,
there
right?
You go.
And so there's different types of coverage, and the reality is that there's what we call term insurance that will cover you for a 10, 20, 30-year period. It tends to be more affordable. I like it for younger families. And then there's what we call permanent coverage that takes you through your life and is ideal if you want to leave a legacy to your heirs or to a charity. But single moms, I can tell you, I didn't take action. I have been in the insurance industry my whole career, and
Really?
I didn't take action on life insurance.
I did when I had my children.
Good for you.
My parents told me I waited too long.
Well,
But I did it.
You did it, and you did better than me, because it wasn't until I found myself as a single parent thinking through the implications to my daughter's future if something happened to me, realizing I needed to take action. And so for so many single moms out there, single parents, you need to think through what would happen if something happens to me. And to your point, there are lots of solutions out there. There are affordable solutions out there. And if you need help with that, just reach out, because we've got agents around the country in your community that I know would be happy to help you prepare for this type of event.
Mary Jane, earlier you mentioned a story that unfortunately really didn't have a good ending in terms of the family taking that action. Do you have one where the family did take action and at least gave them peace of mind?
Yeah, actually, I do. There's one that just happened in the last few months. We had a young family that had just built their dream home and was in our agent's office securing homeowners coverage. As part of the discussion, our agent identified that there was a gap in the life insurance given the new home, and so they agreed to move forward with some life insurance. And unfortunately, just as we had issued that policy, that dad was tragically killed. And his wife and children thankfully had the benefit of his action of protecting their future and his dream, that they be able to live in that home and carry on, as best they could without him. Right. So it was powerful for our agent as well. He felt so good that he was able to identify that need and make sure they took action. And who would have thought several weeks later we'd be honoring this policy?
We don't think it'll happen, but if it does, like you just showed us right now, it's peace of mind.
It is absolutely peace of mind. And the important point is that if you don't take action, who will? And if you don't do it today, when will you take care of this? Because every day that goes by is a risk.
Thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about securing your family's financial future, visit allstate.com/life insurance. That's allstate.com/life insurance, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
All right, bad credit is no joke. It can impact your life on so many different levels.
I know, I've seen families that have been paralyzed because of this. And if you've ever been in that situation, obviously you can relate to this.
Okay, but the good news is, right, so we've got some good news here.
Always do.
Improving your quality of life, it's possible. You just need to know where to turn.
As millions of Americans battle to restore their credit or even get approval for a credit card, many are prevented from having the vital everyday products that improve their quality of life. Like this Atlanta, Georgia mom, who despite her financial struggle and credit issues, was finally able to get the necessary things she needed for her family.
We were able to get bunk beds for the boys and a dining room table. We need that.
Consumers with bad credit don't get to have the normal shopping experience. If they don't have cash, they don't have credit, they really don't have a whole lot of options. So they're forced to go to a less desirable location, pay 2 or 3 times what a product's worth, and they may not even own it. So there's really not a lot of great options for customers with poor credit.
But as thousands of consumers are discovering, new innovative ways of purchasing products are available.
This store is different because they offer a no credit needed lease to own option. So customers that walk through this store with bad credit or no credit, this option allows the customer to get access to this store's product and services and merchandise. It allows the store to get access to that customer base, which means that it's a win-win for both of them.
Participating retail stores featuring Acima Credit's Lease to Own program are found nationwide, meeting needs of customers who might otherwise have no place to turn.
Just moved out in this area, started a new position. Not making a lot of money, but I came by looking for a recliner, something that I could relax in and use coming home from a hard day's work. Guys here told me about a great program with Acima. They took care of me, hooked me up, and didn't cost a lot of money, was very affordable. Took care of the payments in less than a year. I thought it'd take longer. And great furniture company that they set me up with and had exactly what I was looking for.
This store, like many others around the country like it, offer a lease-to-own, no credit needed financing option. So they get access to this entirely new customer base. The customer gets access to those merchants selection, product, knowledge, service. They get to have that normal shopping experience that everyone's looking for, that they weren't able to get because they have poor credit. So we're here at Woodstock Furniture Outlet in the greater Atlanta area because this is a great representation of what the thousands of retailers across the country that we work with, the type of stores that they have. They have great products, great service, great selection, and these are the things that no credit needed customers are looking for. This is the shopping experience that they want to have. So Acima really focuses on a few different industries. We focus on furniture, appliances, mattress and bedding, and wheels and tires. That's where the bulk of our leases come from. But we're always looking for new industries to get into, and you can look forward to seeing us expand into different markets.
Here, when we're helping our customers, we're really trying to find that option that can help that customer to the best of our ability. If you don't have such great credit, you don't have cash that's going to be able to buy the furniture you need at this time, with Acima also being nationwide, they're here to make that house a home.
After shifting from place to place, we were able to get a house. But then shortly after, I lost my job, and we wanted to make the house a home for the kids. And I guess Acima helped us solidify the stability, you know? It's comfortable now, our house.
So mom or dad or man or woman, in order to qualify for our program, they just need to have a minimum income of $1,000 per month, have a consistent income history, and have a checking account in good standing. They're so used to getting denied for traditional financing, we make it easy with no credit needed and just some of those 3 simple things that we require in order to get that approval.
So, is a lease-to-own program easy to get started? Acima Credit's Mark McCarthy put it this way.
So when we talk about the lease-to-own program with Acima, we're really saying that what happens is Acima buys the product off the merchant and the customer leases it off of Acima. So the customer comes in and applies for our program, they get approved up to $3,500, they make an initial payment and they're able to take it home. The merchant gets funded, they get to make that sale that they wouldn't have got. The customer gets to have a great experience because they're shopping in a retail store like this or any store like this across the country, and it's just a win-win from both sides. So if you don't have cash and you don't have credit and you need that product, your son's sleeping on the floor or your washer or dryer just broke, you need to visit acimacredit.com, find a merchant in your area and go in there and talk to them. Apply for our program, it's easy, it's fast, and you'll be able to get that washer and dryer or that mattress for your kids.
To find out how to apply for Acima Credit Lease-to-Own program so you can take home the products you need from participating retail stores coast to coast, visit acimacredit.com, answer a few questions, and you're on your way to the finer things in life. And to view this segment online, visit us at thebalancingact.com.
If you're a regular viewer here on the show, you know how committed we are to raising awareness to those rare diseases that often get overlooked or misdiagnosed.
So our Behind the Mystery continued its support of the rare disease community by attending the World Orphan Drug Congress in Washington, D.C. this April.
It's really amazing. Over 1,000 global attendees came together to discuss the latest trends in orphan drug research, advocacy and action influencing drug development, and biotechs discussing gene therapies. Take a look.
They're called rare diseases. In the U.S. and Europe, 60 million are affected. Worldwide, the numbers even more staggering, with an estimated 350 million men, women, and children suffering some form of rare disease. The nation's capital played host to this year's Orphan Drug Congress USA, and it was a packed house, with professionals from pharmaceutical, advocacy, and patient groups attending, all with one purpose: to find treatments for the 7,000 rare diseases and disorders.
We're bringing around 800 stakeholders from the orphan drug and rare disease industry to meet, brainstorm, and dialogue about the challenges and opportunities in orphan drug development and rare disease research.
There's nothing more energizing than being in a room like this with 800 people all passionate about rare disease.
Hunter syndrome is but one type of rare disease, an inherited metabolic disorder causing permanent and progressive damage. One pharmaceutical company is taking on the challenge.
It's incredible, really, to come to a congress where there are so many people who are focused on such rare conditions.
Rare diseases can affect anyone at any age. Nearly half of all people affected by rare disease are children, and 30% won't live to see their 5th birthday.
One of our heart and soul is dealing with these rare orphan spaces, especially in a pediatric designation. We really just, obviously no one wants to see sick children, and that is a cause like near and dear to our heart.
While big business and even big pharma have their critics, a core of pharmaceutical companies are truly stepping up to the plate, donating time, resources, and people power to help discover therapies and ultimately cure.
In a roundtable that we had this afternoon, we had a person from a patient advocacy group say how it's really typical to go against pharma, but pharma is also the people who are producing the drugs that are saving these kids' lives. So I do think it's nice for organizations and conferences such as this that brings everyone together, brings the advocacy groups and brings the pharmaceutical groups together to see that there is a human side of this. They don't just care about the bottom line, they really care about the patients. I think it's good for everyone to see that.
Heroes come in all sizes and backgrounds. This wife and mother, originally from Dubai, is a teacher living in Nebraska. Nina Nazar's pure passion as a patient advocate resonates through all 7 languages she speaks, including English.
I live with a very rare skeletal dysplasia called Jansen's metaphyseal chondrodysplasia. It's one of the very ultra-rare diseases, only 22 cases worldwide. Only 4 confirmed cases in America, and 3 of them are in my family, with myself included. So that's why I'm here to push for funding, to get more research into the disease, because we have researchers at the Boston Mass General Hospital working on a cure, and so we are looking at getting that cure to clinical trial.
The rarefied air of passion for a cause filled the room at this year's Orphan Drug Conference.
You couldn't be an advocate, you couldn't be an advocacy leader if you didn't have a passion or some sort of connection that motivates you to spend all this time and all this energy doing this. 2 of my 3 daughters have the disease. One passed away back in 1995. The second, who was the older one, she was 14 at the time, and they said she lived to be 18 or 20. She's now 36. And so we're blessed by that, but at the same time, we're challenged because it says how little we know about the disease, because that's a surprise, it's a surprise blessing for us.
This is a great conference to connect with all the different kind of stakeholders, patients, patient advocacy organizations, vendors and partners, and we also have a lot of clients here. So we'll often do a talk or 2 as kind of thought leaders in the space. It's important for us to kind of share our recent experience and some of the innovative approaches we're doing. And I find that this conference, it's growing each year, and it's becoming a better and better venue all the time as a platform for that.
Patient portals on the World Wide Web are making for better patient-based management.
We're here to explain how digital can support patients who have rare diseases. Patients who have rare diseases have additional unique challenges beyond other chronic conditions, and digital offers some advantages in helping what we do, which is personalized patient engagement and support.
It was hard to find anyone who didn't have a personal story to share. It's what makes this conference so special.
My sister was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension 18 years ago. They told her she was 28 years old, and they told her she wasn't going to live to see her 30th birthday. And yesterday was her birthday. She turned 47. She's alive because of the Pulmonary Hypertension Association driving research. There are now 14 therapies for pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary Hypertension Association would not exist if it wasn't for the National Organization of Rare Disorders.
It really is the most fulfilling part of my job, which is the chance to meet with patients, their families, their parents, and some of the most memorable moments of my entire journey through this company at Spark. I founded the company actually in 2013, and while I've had the chance to meet tons and tons of people in all sorts of circles, the ones that I remember most are those meetings with a mother of a daughter who had the prospect of losing her vision and or already had lost her vision, and now being able to participate in a clinical trial and the change that they express psychologically, I think more than anything, is really a powerful statement for me to hear, and is the type of thrill and fulfillment that I get from this job more than anything else.
And that's why we do what we do. That's why we're in this industry, is we really care about the patients, and we just want to see the ability to improve lives.
Absolutely.
So great to see, Amber, all those people coming together to continue to fight for awareness and advocacy. So important.
It's so important, especially in this day and age. And you know, we're going to continue to bring you more behind the mysteries, and you can always learn more by going to our website, thebalancingact.com.
We'll be right back. Make it a great day. Head to our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and our website, thebalancingact.com.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to see you next time.